I've run a lot of paid traffic over the years, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's either funnels convert or they just don't. And when they don't, you burn through budget, lose time, and feel like you're just guessing. That's exactly why I put together this short video. Inside, I'm breaking down 3 landing pages and funnels that have consistently performed well across affiliate offers and cold traffic campaigns. And after running 6 figures in ad spend, I can tell you, these funnel styles work. I'll walk you through why, show you the structure, and even highlight what you should tweak if you're launching your own version of the page. Then if one of the funnels that I'm showing you really sticks out to you, you could just import it straight into ClickBank Accelerator, which is our official funnel builder with just a few clicks. Or you can simply copy with your own funnel builder. The choice is yours. So whether you're looking for some tried and true funnels, looking for some inspiration, or just want to remove funnel building from being your bottleneck today, you're in the right place. Let's dive into the breakdown. I'll see you inside. Hey everyone, we're here in our first page, and I just want to go ahead and get started with breaking down things that are awesome from both a paid media and a conversion rate optimization perspective. So I'm going to be breaking down some elements and things that I just really like about this first page that we have here, which is about a weight loss offer. And right off the bat, before I go into anything else, I just want to start with the overall color scheme and the branding of this page. You'll notice here that it just looks professional for one. It doesn't look like it has all these weird background colors or all these fancy weird fonts and things like that. It really just looks professional. It definitely has enough character to it without being over the top. And so I just wanted to talk about that really quick because I think it's really important to just start there and look through the page through that lens, because it makes everything else so much easier going forward. If you have a page, no matter how much great copy you have in it, if you've got like a neon yellow background or something like that, it's just things are gonna be turning people away before they even start to read the copy. So real quick, just love that. But let's go ahead and dive into some elements, and I'll start nitpicking away at some different things here that are really awesome and that you can use these sorts of things into your own funnel, whether you build it yourself or you use a tool that we're using here called Accelerator. It's gonna be perfect for that. So let me go ahead and talk about the first one. The first one is this headline: groundbreaking new weight loss discovery. Might seem very simple, very straightforward, cool, but it's actually really, really powerful because it taps into that novelty aspect, which is a psychological trigger as to why should I care now? And that is one of the biggest things, because when people come from this page, whether it be cold traffic from paid media or an organic social post, whatever you might be using here, it's really awesome because it taps into that subconscious, this is something new trigger, which is really, really awesome. So they could go to some other site and search for in this case, weight loss stuff. Why should they be on this ad? Why should they have been clicking on this ad? Why should they be here to learn more about this discovery? Why should they do anything? Well, it's because it's new. Wouldn't you also want to know something that is brand new? And that's definitely a compelling reason to just explore more about it. Now, that's just one big element here that is really awesome, and it does it pretty well on this page. The second big thing that I'll point out right here is this Ivy League discovery shows simple 17-second morning ritual that turns on your body's hidden fat loss switch to melt 1 pound of fat every 43 hours. Now, let's just talk about this first little 2 lines right here, or this part. Ivy League discovery shows simple 17-second morning ritual. So notice what they did right there. What they did is they attached a credibility aspect, which is Ivy League discovery, that's credible, shows simple 17-second morning ritual. And I'll stop there, because what they've done here is they've attached both a credibility aspect and they've attached something that is seemingly low commitment, 17-second morning ritual, to a big potential payoff or reward. Now, this is something really, really interesting because you can wrap it up in something that's credible while showing something that sounds low commitment, which is really, really interesting to people, because a lot of times they don't want something that's, going to be super complicated, hours on end. This sounds very simple and easy to understand. So They've piqued their curiosity at this point. How could that be true? Well, an Ivy League discovery basically demonstrates it, and it shows this 17-second morning ritual. So that's really, really interesting. Okay, so that's one of the biggest things that I really found cool about this page is it does it in a good job. It breaks down and builds up that credibility while showing a small commitment to a potential big reward. The next thing about this page that is really, really cool is right here, you'll notice this thumbnail picture. This transformation that this person had, this before and after sort of breakdown and the different stages of that happening is really cool. A lot of times what you'll see is like just like one person side by side or something like that. This shows like the different phases and it's like, wow, okay. That seems like a really good journey that this person had. So this is really, really interesting to just kind of show that proof aspect and highlight that as a part in the video that people can click onto. And again, this isn't the video playing right here. This is just going to be a link that links out to the video. So it's pretty cool. Before that video even plays, it's just showing right here how that is a part of it and how they can learn more about it. The next thing I wanted to mention here on this page is that right here, you'll notice that they take out the top constraints or the friction points of somebody being potentially interested in what this has to say. And they spin those around, those friction points into strengths because they address them head on right here. You'll say without, you notice right here, dissolve slabs of wobbly fat from her belly, butt, hips, thighs, and face without strenuous exercise, following a diet, sacrificing her favorite foods. So a lot of times when people are thinking weight loss, they're thinking, oh man, I'm gonna have to run 4 miles a day. I'm gonna be having to count my calories or only eat whole grain things or A to Z different diet things, right? So it's one of those things where it just points that out right here where, hey, that's not gonna be the reality. This is something different. And so that's really, really interesting because they just, again, spin those concerns, those friction points that would normally be there, and they flip them around into strengths because they address them head on this page, which is really cool. So right here it says, and that's not even the full story. See how she did it. Now that CTA, as the final thing I'll mention here, is really, really awesome because instead of it just being like a salesy to click to learn more or watch video or something like that, it almost comes across more caring, like as a friend or somebody who just wants to share what happened and let you know about it. It comes off, it kind of bridges that line between being like too professional, where it's like just click to learn more or click to find out or something like that. But instead it kind of ties it into a more casual way where it's almost just this ad is really just helping people to learn more about how she did it. So it's really cool because it's not trying to sell people right away. It's just naturally bringing up, see how she did it. And then they can go on to the seller's page and learn more about that, of course. So love that aspect about this. This is really cool how they break that down and how they have that CTA right there. So this is the first page. Let's go ahead and hop into our next one. All right, everyone, here is the second page that I want to break down with you real quick. So let's go ahead and jump in. Basically, again, just wanted to talk about the color scheme. It's awesome. It's very well laid out, very professional, very easily spaced or well spaced. Things are clean overall, and the branding is even more succinct than even the last page we talked about. So very clean look, very easy on the eyes, very easy to see. Now, one of the main things, again, that people go to, and I'm going to start with, as I did with the last one, but their eyes are going to be a lot of times looking at either, well, of course, they're going to process images first, so we'll talk about that. But they're going to look at headlines. They're going to read top down for the most part. So they read this, they see this, they're seeing this. Okay. So rebuild your gums and teeth with candy. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay. So that's really, really interesting. And the passion speaks in that headline, which is really cool as well. And you're reading that and you're like, what? How do you rebuild your gums and teeth with candy? That sounds very counterintuitive. But it does a good job of really having that curiosity aspect on this page. And so it taps into that, really ropes people in to have them just learn more about this. And that's really what the goal is of this pre-sale page, is really just to get them to understand a little bit more about the product, get them to trust everything a little bit more, and continue on to the next step in the funnel. So really love that. They start off with a good job, because it's like, how does that even work? All right, the next thing is that you'll notice the skull here, and you'll notice here in the title here, it says, learn how our ancestors had better teeth than we do today. Now this kind of taps into like that missed aspect, or that ancient aspect that may have been overlooked or just lost in traditions. That's really interesting, because it's like, well, oh wow, like they're digging this up now, they're finding out about this now, they're revisiting it now. So it's definitely kind of got that novelty aspect, like again, we kind of talked about before, but in a different spin, if that makes sense. So I really love that about this page. It definitely taps into that kind of primal nature type feel, and it definitely can lure people in that aspect. And one last thing on that too is, with that kind of aspect, it kind of makes people have this ancient wisdom, or sort of an interesting angle there to really bring people in further, as sort of a psychological trigger that you can implement. So something to keep in mind for either this funnel or something else. But if there's an angle there where it can go back in time, it can really help with that sort of timeless feel. So it's really cool and nice to see how they implemented that on this page. All right, so the next thing I really do like about this page right here is that it says, it's not what you might think. Now, a lot of times people might have their presumptions that they're thinking of. They might be like, oh yeah, I've seen that one thing at my local supplement store, or my dentist has something like that, or whatever the case might be. They might be thinking that they already know it. So it's nice to see that they say, oh, it's not what you might think. So that sort of copy there definitely can pique curiosity, keep people roped in to continue reading. And again, that's the goal here, is we just want them to continue reading. We want them to continue building trust and understand more about what this is. Also, it serves as a really good transition before the rest of it that kind of comes in. So from up here, learn how our ancestors, again, this is really roping in their attention, grabbing their attention, but then the segue to that, to understand a little bit more who this is for and what it does. It needs to have a good bridge between that. And this right here, it's not what you might think, really does help with that, that transitional aspect. So the last thing I just mentioned about this is that it says, this educational video will show you how to treat the root problem, not the symptoms, save on costly treatments, surgeries, supplements, and false remedies, restore your teeth and gums naturally and easily. Okay, so this is really cool, because it's really at this point talking about an educational video. It's showing what this will do, what the purpose of it will be, and just overall trying to reduce the skepticism that somebody coming on from a traffic source might have, and increasing the trust in what's going to be next. So again, people don't like getting caught off guard by, what's this random video? What's gonna happen? What are they gonna talk about? It's nice to kind of give that segue into what to expect and what kind of format it's gonna be. So again, this is really, really cool. The other little thing I'll just have an honorary mention is, it does have this little asterisk right here that says, this is based on real science and unlike anything you've ever seen or heard before. Before you spend on your money on any other solution, listen what this doctor has to say. So again, a little bit of very subtle, but yet very powerful credibility bump right there, right before the main CTA. So again, love this page for many reasons, but those are just a few reasons that I wanted to highlight here on this breakdown. Let's go ahead and head on into the next one. All right, so this is our last one, and it's gonna be in a little bit of a different format. It's a quiz funnel, which is really, really awesome to see, because it can definitely work really well if it's executed right. And again, every sort of page, every sort of funnel just needs to be implemented right. At the end of the day, that's the only way it will work. Whether you're doing a quiz funnel, you're doing a lead magnet, you're doing a landing page, they've all been proven to work, but they have to be implemented right. So this one, first of all, again, just the look and feel. I know I don't want to harp on this too much, but I cannot stress it enough. it's super important to just have a very clean looking feel and professional looking feel right up the bat. It just exudes so much trust. If people see even get any sort of hair of scamminess or any sort of vibe like that, they're just gonna bounce. Again, just keep it simple, make it look clean, make it look professional, and you'll be solid. So let's go ahead and jump on into this one. So it says, first of all, the first question is, which organ controls fat burning? Now, this first question is very interesting because it's talking about something that probably will interest a lot of people, talking about fat burning. And so again, this ties into the core audience very well. And it's going to be pre-framing. This is an offer that really comes across the liver function. And so it's pre-framing that by educating the user around this aspect. So right here it says, which organ controls fat burning? And I'm gonna choose liver. So anyways, it is liver. And if I was to say something else, like if I was to say, oh, it's maybe I was thinking it's all psychological, so it's the brain. Well, it's actually going to, just basically educate me on the fact that it is the liver. So question 2, what is the liver's primary function? Cleanse toxins from your body, process fatty foods, boost metabolism, all of the above. Okay, let's choose that one. That is the correct answer. The liver is built to cleanse toxins from your body, process fatty foods, and even boost your metabolism. Again, it's educating me as I answer these questions. And I'm just gonna go through this the rest of the way. All right, so as at the end here, what it's gonna bring me to is the quiz results. Now, this is the page I get to after I've gone through those few questions. Now, I just wanted to emphasize one last thing about each one of those questions. Notice how each one is tactfully and very strategically basically educating and subtly educating the user about the result or about the correct answer that should be there as people are answering through the quiz funnel. Now, they might just be curious people who are just clicking through it, but as they start to realize that they're wrong about things and that all the great things that the liver are responsible for, that really sets it up to be, oh, well, I didn't know about that. That's really interesting. On the other hand, they might already know all these answers, which is fine. But in either case, it does do a good job of just forming and really bringing people into the importance of the liver, which is really, really interesting. So you'll notice here that basically, again, on this page for the quiz results, it will basically say your liver will process food you just ate, and it will either turn into stored fat or turn it into energy. Of course, many people would rather have it turn into energy. And this type of energy is what speeds up your body's metabolism, allowing you to shed pounds of weight without sacrificing your favorite foods. Okay, so that's really, really interesting. So what's the secret to unlocking your liver's ability to turn your favorite foods into fat-burning energy? Okay. So again, this is all about the liver. It's all about that. It's talking about the benefits of how it either could turn it into stored fat or it could turn it into energy. Okay, now I'm really interested now. I wanna know, what is this talking about when it says turning it into energy? How could I do that instead of just having it be stored fat? And if I wanna have it be turned into energy, that's really, really cool. And especially right here when it says in this line, what's the secret to unlocking your liver's ability to your favorite foods, to turn your favorite foods into fat-burning energy? So again, right here, it ties it together and segues it with saying a groundbreaking new discovery, which is a novel. Again, like we spoke about earlier, it's talking about something novel. University of Barcelona, again, that credibility aspect, that's really interesting. Has uncovered a simple, ancient, again, from the last page we reviewed, which is a timeless feel, an ancient Mediterranean ritual that turns your liver into a fat-burning machine. See the discovery. Okay, so that's, again, really interesting to see because it's basically taken the whole quiz where somebody might not really know much about the liver and all that it's responsible for as just an organ. I mean, personally, I don't really think of the fat burning aspects of the liver as just a normal person. So this, just even talking about it, has really brought me more interested into what this has to say, and has taken me all the way from just casually taking this little quiz for fun to test my knowledge, all the way over to wanting to know more about this discovery. So it's a very seamless path that this quiz funnel has done to set it up for talking about the benefits of how the liver can be responsible for that and what this discovery has been. So love that about this page. Again, this is really, really awesome. Feel free to use aspects of this or just use it yourself, because this is a funnel, a quiz funnel that has been done very, very well in terms of bridging that gap from both an ad perspective all the way to getting them to the sales page. So you just saw 3 funnels that have been proven high converting types of funnels and landing pages for affiliate marketers. Now, if you want to use these types of funnels, I recommend basically just doing your best to recreate them on your end if you'd like, in your own style, in format, in way. The other option you can do is also you can use these with ClickBank's Accelerator, which I mentioned before is our official funnel and landing page builder. You can do all sorts of things, which are very, very awesome. And it's made for affiliate marketers. So if you're looking for a solution out there and wanna just easily get those imported into your ClickBank Accelerator account, super simple to set up, super fast, you can also use that. The choice is yours. It just depends on which one you wanna go with, or if you have a funnel builder already or not. So feel free to scroll down below and you'll see more about ClickBank Accelerator. If you like this breakdown of these funnels and landing pages, go ahead and let me know by tapping the like button down below. And if you want to see more breakdowns like I just did, please go ahead and let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and see what you think about doing a future video just like this. So thank you again for watching and have a wonderful one.